what will it take to wake up the masses? We've had tyrannical lockdowns, the destruction of the middle class, a very dubious medical intervention with shocking statistics. Nothing seems to do it. Who would have thought that it would be snow? Bloody snow. Now I jest a little bit. Of course we still live in a world of complete retardation or conditioning and virtue signalling and emotional decision making that leads many to be absolutely retarded and play into the hands of the tyrannical tyrants that are trying to enslave humanity. But it does seem that this storm seems to be fairly, and now obviously I live on X and I get all my worldviews from X, so you know, I'm sure there's still many people who don't even know there is a storm in America, perhaps even some Americans that haven't noticed. But that's just a little joke around how retarded people have got. But it does seem that there seems to be many people questioning many aspects of this snow, from its parasitical nanotech content to the fact that it doesn't even seem to be snow and seems to be more of a plastic and doesn't melt. So we've all seen these images going around of people burning the balls with lighters, reporting a plasticky smell, and the snow not melting and seeming to turn black like burnt plastic. And then you get your community notes on X saying, no, this is normal, it's just soot coming from the lighter. And your common sense tells you that, you know, I'm sure the snow that I knew as a child would melt in the presence of a flame, but you know, okay, maybe. And then you start seeing all these crazy videos coming out. You know, this guy has literally got a blowtorch and he's had to turn it up to 500 degrees for the snow to melt. Like, this isn't normal.
That's crazy. I mean, it's melting it now. Okay, there it is.
How much heat do
You have to put an enormous amount of
500 degrees.
to melt this snow. And even then, it's having problems.
Yeah. It's having issues right now trying to melt.
That's insane.
It should just be turning to water.
Manufactured snow. Manufactured ice. That's insane.
Should be cutting holes at it right now.
That's insane. That's what I'm saying. Like, we should have been getting ice all off of there. It should have been done within a matter of minutes.
I've never seen anything in 64 years like this. And my daddy was here, he'd tell you the same thing. When you stick that kind of heat to an ice cube, it should just melt.
And then there's this guy who's got a machine that he's bought from the outside, so it's covered in snow, inside the garage next to a heater that's blasting out heat at 60 degrees, so presumably that's Fahrenheit. But, you know, well above room temperature. And the snow isn't melting. What is going on? It's not snow.
I was wondering, it's above freezing. We've stayed above freezing all night. This heater. It's interesting because there's still snow from yesterday that has not melted. I don't know, this is crazy. And I've got, I don't know, you can't explain it. Crazy stuff.
This person has literally put some snow like in a fire. I mean, it could be an AI video, like you just don't know anymore. But and again, the community notes tries to pass it off with some science, like if you do this, it converts so fast it doesn't melt, it turns into a gas. Like, okay, but why is the snow not disappearing? Why is it not getting smaller and rapidly? You know, snow should not be able to last in a fire like this. And it's just bizarre. And then there's the magical snow that only seems to settle in certain areas. Now, we've all seen, like, at the start of snowfall. I mean, actually, usually it's the other way around, isn't it? Usually it starts to settle on the grass, on the natural surfaces, and then starts to settle on the pavements and the cement. That's certainly my recollection of snow. But, you know, when it's snowing to the point like it is in this video, it's a blanket of everything, but very strange, it doesn't seem to be settling on certain surfaces, in this case the grass. Oh, I've just watched it again, it's not even on the trees. Like, the trees are definitely what what collects snow first, definitely. The guy in the video he suggests that because it's not natural, because this snow shouldn't really be here and it's all, you know, plastic and man-made, that it's not landing on the earth because the earth is too hot, and in normal conditions the snow wouldn't melt on the earth. I mean, that seems a bit far-fetched to me, because I don't believe that the earth is magma in the middle. Like, why is the deep sea freezing? Like, it just makes no sense that the earth is this, well, that it's a ball. Or anyway, let's not get into that tangent. So I'm not sure that is the case, but you know, it's just a little suggestion. But I'm really enjoying seeing people waking up to the geoengineering aspects of this. The fact that we're having these 100-year record-breaking storms every couple of weeks now. I mean, I'm just seeing a report that there's another, even more severe storm coming in a week's time. When this one was billed as a 100-year storm, the fact that it's been across the country, very unusual. Apparently at this time of year to get snow in Texas is just unheard of, but this is currently Texas. So it just makes no sense, and there seems to be this mass, you know, like, one of the most frustrating things as a conspiracy theorist. I mean, the fact that people are even still using that word in 2026 when it was coined by the CIA to debunk truth, and that's admitted, it was done after the JFK shooting. Like, the fact that people are still, even after all these, I mean, really what conspiracy theories are reality theories. They're possible explanations as to why reality is like it is. And almost all of them are now just everyday norms. And yet people will still call people conspiracy theorists. I mean, it just boggles my mind. I mean, how anyone can still think, and obviously the people that are doing this, they all did the whoop. You know, how anyone can have done that and still think that they have a valid opinion about anything. That they can question somebody's opinion who didn't fall for that. I mean, I just find it baffling. One of the most interesting aspects of human psychology. But I think, before I went off on that tangent about general retardation and how fascinating it is, I think I was trying to say something along the lines of, oh yeah, it's frustrating as a conspiracy theorist to just like be, when you can just see the common sense and the clear reality of what's happening. So, you know, geoengineering exists, HARP exists, and like people just looking at you like you're stupid. But now there seems to be, again, it's only what I'm seeing on X, but there just seems to be this consensus that like, oh yeah, like clearly this is manipulated, clearly this is man-made, the snow isn't melting, it's happening in places we've never seen before, we're getting cloud formations like this.
Yo, what the frick? What the actual frick am I, bro, what? I'm hired DoorDash and I turn around to, bro, what the frick?
Anyway, I'm going off on tangents, I'm trying to talk about the bumming snow. Basically what I'm saying is, it seems to be waking people up. People seem to be, you know, starting to see the bigger picture and what's going on, and what is just clearly undeniable. Like, this isn't research, this isn't being a conspiracy theorist, this is just saying what you're seeing with your fucking eyes. Anyway, another thing people are seeing is what happens when you put this snow under a microscope. And yeah, there's some very concerning organisms or potential nanotechs, plastics, chromosomes maybe. I'll let you see for yourself inside the snow.
Right here. I'm also in the snow melt today. Okay. It's not alone. There's many, many more. Took some good close-ups of that guy. There were some bugs swimming around in her earlier, but it's kind of drying off. I'd have to.
And then this woman, she's done a long video. It's about 4 minutes. I'll tell you what she does, and then I'll show you the results. If you want to see the full video, just type parasites in snow on X and it comes up straight away. But yeah, she basically melts the snow down to water and puts it under a microscope. She shows herself doing this, and then this is the result of what's in the water.
All right, guys, this is really weird because these are not ice crystals. You can clearly see that that is water on my slide. Okay. These look like effing parasites or some type of plastic. And we are seeing these strange X shapes, okay, which look very similar to me, like a chromosome marker. See how shiny blue these are? This is how heavy metals show up in the blood. Now, just to be clear, everyone, this is what snow and water are supposed to look like under a microscope.
And then there's a whole nanotech thing, which, you know, this and the towers of the Gs of 5 that they put up everywhere seem to be linked to. There seems to be a big push to get graphene oxide, which seems to be very much linked to this whole nanotech thing, into our water supply and into everything, it seems. And apparently that reacts with electromagnetic systems, which I don't know if that's the right word, but you know, the frequencies that come out of these towers, and all gets a bit crazy. Of course, again, none of it may be true. I have to say that for the purposes of this platform, but you know, there's a lot in this stuff, and it all seems to be in the snow. I mean, it's not a laughing matter really, but at some point you just have to, you know, laugh, don't you? And I don't know how to react to it anymore. I try and detach from it. I try and, you know, I've always kind of just seen it as a show and felt like it doesn't affect me, and that is actually still my reality. Like, in my actual present moment, this stuff never is affecting me. But that's not true. I've had to leave my fucking homeland because of it, so it's not really true, but also it kind of is. But I feel like that's getting harder and harder as the net closes more, I guess, and as things just get more and more crazy, tyrannical, as we move closer to this one world government that just completely controls everything. Strange. But anyway, this was meant to be a semi-fun video about the snow, but I don't know if we can make anything fun anymore. But anyway, let me know what you thought. If you did enjoy it or you took something from it, hit the like button. Thanks so much to these guys for their continued support. And yeah, I'll see you all soon.